Was the 2022 FIFA World Cup rigged to help Lionel Messi win the prestigious title? Well, that's what Louis Van Gaal, the man who managed Netherlands in that World Cup, believes. So is there any substance to his claims? Was the Qatar World Cup really fixed? That's what we are going to discuss in this live. Hello and welcome to WION World of Sport Xtra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my sports editor Digvay Singh Deo and by my colleague Vidur Kathuria. Sensational claims. You know, if someone else would have made these claims, it would have been brushed under the carpet. But Louis Van Gaal is one of the most decorated managers in the world of football. What do you make of these comments?
Can't you see Vidur and I smiling? Former Manchester United manager, okay? That's what you expect. No, jokes apart. No, come on. Far-fetched, yes. But then you look at, for the World Cup to be fixed, how did France react? Why did France suddenly wake up? Why did Kylian Mbappe suddenly wake up after Di Maria went off? That was the greatest World Cup final of all time. For a match to be fixed and Argentina win everything, right?
Yeah.
And the penalty shootout should have been fixed, or something should have been fixed. We shouldn't have even gone to penalties. Anything could have happened. Anyone could have won the World Cup. Certain people on social media can have whatever sort of angst they have, be it a Ronaldo fan or whatever. But Van Gaal is someone taken very seriously. I mean, I remember the guy never being able to even crack a joke or take a joke when he was Manchester United manager. Very serious. I always remember he was being interviewed. A post-match was always serious face. You know, never got English wit and sarcasm.
He did you remember that when he referee won.
United fan.
He had a weird sense of humor.
Yeah, but to make these claims of much after a World Cup without any substance doesn't show him in very good light. In fact, his captain Virgil van Dijk coming out and distancing himself from those claims as well. And it takes away from a great performance and a great game. In fact, that Netherlands-Argentina game, I remember I wasn't here. You guys were watching it. I was in the Bahamas back then. It was a classic game.
Yeah, I remember there were 16 yellow cards, one red card.
One.
Yeah. One of the most hotly contested match in that World Cup.
And it's time. Okay, this will be out there on social media, banner headlines everywhere. But just go back and remember that World Cup is not even been a year, right? It's the greatest World Cup final of all time. Yeah. Absolutely greatest. What do we remember? Di Maria tearing France to shreds. Di Maria goes off, Mbappe pulls off that comeback. Then Messi scores, and then Mbappe scores, and it was like back and forth, back and forth. And I went back home at 2 at night. Yeah, what a joke.
So for our viewers, his comment exactly was, if you see how Argentina gets the goals and how we get the goals and how some of Argentina's players crossed the line and weren't punished, then I think it's all preconceived. It's all preconceived game. It's all premeditated.
So when you say preconceived and premeditated, that means you are accusing FIFA and match officials of FIFA of colluding and match fixing. I don't think he realized what he said. I don't think he realized the implications of that. That is a clear allegation of match fixing.
What's your take with that?
That's how I read it.
Yes. Firstly, this is a translation.
Translation,
so sometimes what happens is that we are lost in translation. But I don't think that's the case here, because Van Gaal is capable of making such a statement. I don't think we should take his comments too seriously. But if someone else would say it, he was manager of the Netherlands during the World Cup, and as Digvijay said, it was one of the greatest matches of that World Cup, and very, very high intensity, hotly contested. Lines were crossed, that I agree. There were certain lines. I remember one Argentina player hit the ball towards the Netherlands bench. Obviously, they took issue with it, and words were exchanged during and after the match. If you remember, Messi
he didn't shake.
He did this.
Yeah. How many times have we seen Messi doing this? So he did do that. He exchanged.
To Van Gaal. He had an issue with Van Gaal also.
Because Van Gaal made some pre-match comments.
Very strong words for
Weghorst. That match made who Wout Weghorst
that was his claim to fame. That's why
he scored 2 goals. But to be fair to him,
actually, just to put it in context, Van Gaal said that Messi didn't touch the ball when Argentina beat the Netherlands on penalties in the 2014 World Cup. So Messi was was fired up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why he was riled up.
Exactly. I'm very glad you brought that up. There is context here.
Yeah.
If you remember Argentina, Netherlands during 2014 World Cup, Van Gaal was manager. They lost on penalties.
Yeah.
This is the semi-final.
It was a pretty boring game.
Yeah. Well, nothing compared to this game that we had at 2022 World Cup. But if you remember, Netherlands were losing 2-0, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And they scored 2 late goals.
So Molina scored in the 35th.
Yeah.
Messi scored 73rd. Weghorst scored 83rd.
Yeah.
And again in the extra time, I think.
And then in the 11th minute of added time, probably the last
very
kick.
well worked free kick.
Yeah.
And
last kick of the game. Then it goes to extra time. Even extra time goes into 8 added minutes. Dumfries gets sent off, 128. Doesn't make that much difference. Goes to penalties. And Argentina won at 4-3.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Netherlands didn't offer much going forward for the majority of the contest. It was just those 2 last. But this is a case.
It was a masterclass by Scaloni.
Much like the final, actually.
Yeah.
The first 80 minutes, nothing much happened in that game as well, unless you are an Argentinian fan. So that game also similar.
But of course, Zagreb's by Van Gaal, I don't think there is any substance to his comments. In fact, it made me think about some of the bizarre comments he made during his time at Manchester United. When
Nikhil would remember those.
When I remember, and let's just say that the football that Manchester United played during his time wasn't too exciting. He was constantly questioned by the press about that. And then once he took out this huge sheet of paper where he compared the stats of Sam Allardyce's West Ham to his Manchester United size. So comparing yourself to Sam Allardyce, who of course has done well during his career, but not the most attacking manager he's known as. So that, it didn't last long, his reign at Manchester United.
But is this disrespectful to Messi?
Well, obviously, if you question the nature of your World Cup victory, it is sort of disrespectful. It depends on how much weight you give Van Gaal's comments. Anyone who has been following football for a long time will know that Van Gaal is capable of making, he is sort of...
But they have, for all our fans who like conspiracy theories, I mean, there has been a lot of threads on Twitter, which is now called X. There's a Twitter handle called La Liga Frauds. It has a picture of Cristiano Ronaldo. He made a thread in December 2022, which has got 11.2k likes, and he actually pointed out instances which were 50-50, and there were some quotes from Infantino and all that everyone wanted Messi to win a World Cup, but there's no clear-cut evidence. But that thread also went viral. So there have been conspiracy theories about it all.
Conspiracy theories about whether Neil Armstrong landed on the moon in the first place.
Ricky Ponting, there's a spring in Ricky Ponting's bat.
Was it 2003 World Cup?
Yeah. So there have been many conspiracy theories, but it's difficult to fix a World Cup, and that too, which had
you can create any sort of narrative.
You can create headlines, but again, I'm coming back to the question. Okay, the World Cup was fixed for Messi. That means you're also saying that who the semi-final? Croatia, right?
Croatia, yeah.
So Croatia were part of the fix. Then you're saying France was part of the fix.
Yeah.
That means FIFA also fixed for Salt Bay to be there and to sprinkle his stardust on the ceremony. It's a lot of things then goes... you can take comments in isolation. Yeah. A certain comment I have made on our sports desk, say 6 months ago, you can take that out of context and spin a headline making me pro-Messi or pro-Ronaldo or pro-Virat Kohli, pro-Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, out of context, everything looks bizarre.
Yeah.
But you need to understand the situation, what happened. It's taking away from a fantastic World Cup. For all that rubbish that we read about human rights, about
sports washing,
LGBTQ rights, and the farce about the rainbow armband, no beer. There's no beer in India. You can't go to a game and have alcohol here. Unless you're in a hospitality box.
That's a different story.
So hang on, I'm getting there. Even at the end, when they said, why is he being given that
cloak
the beast, which is an honor, people forgetting Pele wearing the Mexican hat. This is all trying to take away from what was a fantastic World Cup. I remember it for that. Let's face it, the Indian team, where we are based, is not going to win a World Cup, at least not probably in our lifetimes. Could happen.
Yeah, that could happen.
For us, as neutrals, to watch the spectacle unfold, it was massive. It was a great World Cup. It was an open World Cup. A lot of traditional teams who you expect to do well were not in the mix. Yeah. And you got some great games. I think France-England was a great game.
Well, there's no doubt that the football on display at the World Cup was at a very, very high level, one of the most exciting tournaments that we can remember in recent memory. So, but that doesn't mean that other questions should not be raised. Obviously, that is a different conversation altogether. But I don't think anyone, any figure in football can make comments that can tarnish the World Cup as a memory or as a tournament. It was very, very sort of a high-level tournament.
And none of the players who were part of that Netherlands squad have backed Louis Van Gaal's comment. They said, there was nothing like it. They have clearly denied it, that we don't think that it was a fixed World Cup. So yeah, nothing to substantiate it. That's what, when we write our copies, we are always told to, substantiate your claim with stats or with facts. Louis Van Gaal clearly hasn't done it. He gets a lot of papers when he was a manager, but clearly nothing here to substantiate it.
Stephen, I don't know where Stephen is from. Thank you, Stephen, for watching this. But Stephen says claims can be true and can't be. So he's hedging his bets either way.
How
will Messi react to this statement? A big question. How will Messi react to the statement? Come on.
He would say, I have on everything, I don't need to react.
He will not give any weight to Van Gaal's comments.
His players are not giving him any weightage.
Messi has done all that he wanted to during his career. He is enjoying his time in the USA.
Scoring goals.
He's scoring goals.
He's World Cup winner. He's achieved everything. He's the GOAT.
He's at Inter Miami. He's enjoying the Miami sunshine.
And he's going to play World Cup qualifiers.
He wants to take Miami to the playoffs. He wants to play another. He's not going to be worried about what Van Gaal is saying. He's won that battle. That battle is won. Anyone can say anything about it now.
You know what Jeffrey Boycott used to say, 90s when I was watching cricket as a kid. He said, it don't matter what you say. What matters is what you read in the morning's papers. He's out or not out. The umpire's given the signal. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. That World Cup is in Argentina. Third world title.
Yeah. Wait of 36 years.
Wilson Makadzange says, and Wilson, I don't know where you're from, so perhaps next time you have something, but just tell us where you're from, we'll give you a shout out again. Wilson saying, yes, it was fixed for Messi to win the World Cup.
Wilson is a die-hard Ronaldo fan.
Are you, Wilson? Come on, let's see what you have to say to that. And Alex Mensa has replied to Wilson's comments saying, yes, because before the World Cup, they declared Messi winner before it started. Interesting.
Infantino just
this
said
is
that.
Same thread.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same thread.
I think people would want to go again and visit that thread, but Infantino said that Messi.
No, I also want Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma to end their careers with the World Cup. In fact, Rohit doesn't have one. Actually, they have a T20 and a thing, but I mean, for both to get the either or. But I mean, my wish is not exactly somebody else's command, right?
No, yeah, and even in those thread,
even the all-powerful Jay Shah can't win the World Cup for India. Okay, we have Arif says, don't think so. Messi played well, which is true. He played very well.
Yeah. I mean, and Saudi Arabia, like Argentina conceding to Saudi Arabia in their first match. I mean,
well, listen, I was watching that game and they lost. The Al Dawsari, he scored, right? Al Dawsari.
Yeah.
What a surprise, that game.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history, and they went on to win the tournament.
I think that
took me back to 2010 because Spain lost to Switzerland and then went on to win the World Cup. Only team till then to win a World Cup after losing the first match.
Yeah, I think those comments are clearly disrespectful to Messi, to Scaloni, to the Argentinian side. I mean,
history only remembers the winners, my boys.
Yes.
Yeah. You think the millions of people in Argentina who celebrated the World Cup, who had that month-long party, they will care about what Van Gaal says? I don't think so.
In fact, listen, knowing the Argentines, Messi is in Argentina. There's a friendly coming up.
Yeah, World Cup qualifiers are in fact
the international window.
Yeah.
I saw visuals of him this morning.
Yeah, he will lead Argentina.
He's going to be asked this. Or asked this. There's no way he's going to keep quiet. And I think he won't resist the opportunity to have a crack. In fact, what I liked about Messi was, much later, I think in July, he spoke about this game. And he said he didn't like the way he behaved.
Yeah, he said that.
He expressed remorse. He wasn't particularly
happy about the way he conducted him.
No, he wasn't particularly concerned about the way he reacted with Weghorst, because obviously some things were said, and that's a natural reaction. But he specifically mentioned the Van Gaal incident, and he said, I shouldn't have done that, or it didn't look good.
Yeah.
Because he also knows that he is a global icon. So similarly, if Messi is showing remorse, I think Van Gaal, as one of the most astute thinkers in the game, should also be careful before making such comments.
Yeah.
Especially now that he's gone, he's retired.
Yeah,
he came out of retirement for this, did a good job, took them to the quarterfinals. Let's not forget, this is the same Dutch team which didn't make it to 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't make it to 18, right?
18
and didn't make it to 2 European Championships.
Yeah, back-to-back major tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's progress. Let's not sully Messi's reputation. Let's tell you the poll. Was the 2022 FIFA World Cup fixed? 41.3% say no.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Is this...
Wait, I'm not done. 12.9% say maybe. And 45.8% say yes.
45%.
Is this poll fixed?
So that
is very close.
45% of you out there think the World Cup actually was fixed. That means 55% of you, 41% of you think no, it was genuine. But there's clearly 13% of them who think it could go either way. You add that up, it's around 50-50.
I think we have lots of Ronaldo
theories.
fans on this live stream.
I'm really surprised by your polls, but this one is...
Okay, Joshua Niniola, long couple of things he said. Yes, Messi is superhuman and he was allowed to play against ordinary human beings. It is like allowing a man to compete in women's sports.
Great.
Come on.
No, that's the last part.
The outcome will be magical. Messi
is
merciless, simple.
No,
that's
last
a bit disrespectful.
But it reminds me, the first part of what he said is something that reminded me of Gerard Piqué. Gerard Piqué, who's played with both Ronaldo and Messi, was once asked who is the greatest player. He said, Ronaldo is the best human footballer, but Messi is just out of this world.
He's alien.
Yeah, he's not human.
Okay, Joshua also adds, by the way. Joshua, thanks for this. Why was the match fixed for Messi? Why not Ronaldo? Why not Mbappe? Question we asked at the beginning. We spoke about this. To fix something like this, you got to have everybody else sort of
all
being part of the fix.
Yeah, and obviously when we think about fixing in any sport, especially viewers in India, they think about cricket because it has happened.
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah, and it's different, spot fixing in cricket, and to fix a football match, everyone has to be sort of colluding.
There's a difference between fixing a match and difference between spot fixing. You fix a spot, like this over, like in cricket, this over, if this guy bowls a no ball, you'll place your bet accordingly. But in football, it's very difficult.
There's also sport betting happening on in tennis, remember?
Yeah.
So because the scores, if it's not live, people were placing bets while the point was being played, And it's happening in golf as well. There's a big argument during the PGA Tour's finale, right? The Tour Championship. Okay. Jessica saying, Argentina won fair and square, I am sure. We agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jessica, we agree with you, fair and square. Argentina won it fair and square. Actually, when it came down to it, it was Emiliano Martinez who won them the World Cup.
Yeah, that save is one of the most iconic saves ever.
Hope says, they hate CR7, that's why.
Who? Who they?
Wilson, I don't know. Wilson Makadzange replies to Joshua. Now, Wilson we mentioned earlier on, and so did Joshua. So
there's a battle going on in our comment section.
The battle of the WION viewers.
We like a good battle.
No, we both watched the World Cup. It was just like a remote control tournament. Penalties all the way from the group stages. One of the worst World Cups ever. Could have been one of the worst World Cups ever for us neutrals. Very enjoyable.
What Messi did to Josko Guardiola, no one can even do.
Yeah, afterburners. Old man, afterburners.
So yeah, he can't do that.
Engineer Michel A. Edosa. Thank you. Throughout Messi's character, though being a good player, a lot was rigged in his favour. Ballon d'Or, Barcelona bribery scandals. It's like the establishment wants to make you the GOAT. Check the Copa America, also very fixed. They repeated the competition back-to-back and few years in between until he won. Rigged! Wow! We are getting somewhere now. Now we're getting somewhere.
My God.
That's a lot of detail there.
That's a well-researched comment.
Very well-researched comment.
Well, I mean, there were a number of Copa Americas because the centenary, etc., etc. But the one he won, I think, was already part of the 4-year cycle, if I'm not wrong, which he won in 2021, was it? Yeah. And that's the only time he's won it.
I think,
Copa America.
The thing with Messi was he could have won it any time, the World Cup. They were there in 14. But I think the romanticism of what he achieved was because this was his last World Cup. Let's be fair, everybody wants a grand, emotional Messi World Cup, America. He's going to be 39.
Yeah.
He's probably going to come another few games. But you mentioned Guardiola, and this is a player who went to Man City.
Yeah.
For a lot of money. And just remind our viewers, or those who have tuned in, what Messi did against Guardiola. And this is a 36-year-old Messi.
No, and
Tore him apart.
And
Not once, but more than once.
No, but just that move, I think, he raced down from the halfway line. Right?
Halfway line from the right wing. And then he was guarding the right pole. He turned him around somehow.
Inside
out. And Guardiola had no answer to Messi. And Guardiola was still one of the best. I think he was part of the World Cup 11 as well.
Absolutely. And to touch upon Digvijay's point, I think the question before the World Cup was, can Ronaldo or Messi win the World Cup? Because none of them had won it. And obviously Messi then won it. The stars aligned. Yeah. It was like...
And listen, and to be fair to Portugal, they were better without Ronaldo in the team.
Yeah.
Because he was the incredible sulk. I'm sorry, we're going to get hammered for this. Great. But he was the incredible sulk. He had a public falling out with Santos as well.
Yeah.
And because I think Ramos got a hat-trick when they benched Messi.
Yeah, Gonzalo Ramos coming in to replace Ronaldo and scoring that hat-trick.
So I think that, it was just the perfect sort of, not ending or whatever, it's not the end of his career, but sort of stars aligned. It was, for some people, it might be too good to be true, as we are finding out during the comments.
Well, lots of comments still coming in. Thank you.
But
one of our YouTube viewers says, no name, just get us a name.
Yeah.
When money talks, results walk. Nobody touches Pele as the greatest ever. Actually, I just think that Pele, Maradona, Messi, now on a different level. Pele played with a great team around him. But what Maradona did in '86 was sheer brilliance. He took a team of an average team to the World Cup. To be fair to Messi, his individual honors put him up in that conversation. So it's difficult to choose between these three. But at least one thing we're all clear, and this is going on and on and on, more people coming in. One thing is clear, Ronaldo's out of that conversation.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
See, Pele, Maradona and Messi are on a different level now.
Because of
Benny Carson is disputing what we are saying. Benny Carson saying, none of you understand the process of fixing. It may not be a particular match, but the fixtures could be fixed. It's usually fixed in a way that they face one big team all through the competition. So was that big team Saudi Arabia, Benny? Because they lost to them, and they still won the World Cup.
And they faced the Netherlands, they faced Croatia,
France.
And they defeated France in the final.
Runners-up, and they faced France, the
Who else?
champions.
Who else do you want to defeat? How is it fixed?
Kylian Mbappe, who scored a hat, did
and
all he could.
Mbappe could have won that World Cup. And as he pointed out, Emiliano Martinez, if he wouldn't have made that save, the match wasn't going to the penalty. It was over. It was over at that time. And usually, when you get a volley and there's just a goalkeeper, usually it goes in.
You can't fix that.
You cannot.
Jersey Dudek, Shevchenko, Liverpool, AC Milan, 2005. Okay. Onu, Oha, David. Losers have many excuses. But, okay. Ogos Wesley says, every player and football fan that went to Qatar wanted Messi to lift the cup, except Ronaldo and his girlfriend. You can agree with me that the Portuguese defenders really wanted Messi to lift it. I feel his pain, he will heal. Okay. Messi fan, not Ronaldo. But Prince Ehimen Idaudu says, long post. To all those who think the World Cup is fixed, ask them if Van Gaal agreed to Van Dijk missing a penalty.
Turning it around.
Also, where are the fixers, the one who asked the France team to miss a penalty shootout?
Yeah.
You just mentioned.
Yeah.
People should grow up because of Argentina, where the ones awarded 2 penalties in the final that Mbappe scored. So you think France were awarded 2 penalties in the final. Anyway, people will always talk because Messi is not known to be a media person. That's why a lot of people spill rubbish to please themselves and allow them to go to sleep at night. If saying the World Cup was rigged helps them sleep well at night, so be it. I wish them peace.
Oh, wow.
Proper rant.
Prince, you are the king. And that's no disrespect. Okay. Michael Akaribo Ayamga says, Van Gaal spoke out of bitterness for losing against, after all that ranting in the media before the match. I don't know how a fixed tournament won 2 penalties for the opposing team in a final. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said, Michael.
No,
The football fan knows that you can't fix a World Cup.
I think we are going to have another thread on Twitter, probably, why the World Cup wasn't fixed.
I'm getting more comments.
Probably in our comment section we'll have a thread by you guys that why the World Cup wasn't fixed.
Okay, again, Onu Oha David is still watching us. Thank you, mate.
Still typing.
Would Van Gaal say the same if Messi was in his team?
It's
Messi or Wout
international,
Weghorst.
so it's not really club football.
Wout Weghorst.
Yeah.
Wout Weghorst.
That match actually changed the life for Wout Van Gaal. Otherwise, he would have never been able to sign a contract with Manchester United. They were looking for a striker, and Weghorst in that match scored 2 goals.
They were very good goals as well.
And after that, never scored for Manchester United. Scored just 1 or 2 goals.
Was that a loan deal? Was that a loan deal?
It was a loan deal.
Where is he now?
I think it's gone back to
Burnley?
Burnley. I think he is on loan to some other club, not in the Premier League.
Okay, thank you. We must say thank you before we end this. We must say thank you to Louis Van Gaal. Thank you for making it an entertaining WION YouTube and Facebook chat. We always don't discuss serious stuff like the Indian World Cup team.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Had fun on this, boys?
Yeah, and especially with your comments, it just, made the discussion really well with Ronaldo fans and Messi fans giving good arguments. We all love a good argument, so keep your comments coming. We'll take all the comments in.
Yes, we're balanced, you know. So it's so balanced.
Try to.
It's so balanced that you have 2 Liverpool guys on the outer side, and then keeping the balance is the United fan.
Yeah. I think when Messi is involved in any sort of conversation, people have strong opinions on it. Or
Ronaldo, for that matter.
Involved. But yeah, this was a provocative question.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of strong opinions and comments. And obviously, it's great to have a conversation like this.
Yeah, okay. So we're just going to give you a programming reminder. We have our day jobs as well. It's Beyond World of Sport. Not the extra that you see. It's just the
This is the extra.
This is the extra. We are the extras at the moment. So what's coming up today? Djokovic, big story. Djokovic beating Federer's record.
47th Grand Slam semi-final appearance for Djokovic. And Taylor Fritz, he can't get past Djokovic. 8 matches and he has lost all of them.
Coco Gauff to win the women's singles. That would be a story.
I think Coco Gauff is the favorite for me to win the women's title. The way she dismantled Ostapenko.
I don't see Sabalenka winning this, by the way. I think home support takes her through.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great story if Sabalenka wins it or Coco Gauff wins it.
But just look at the way she dismantled the Ostapenko.
Yeah.
It's the same Ostapenko who thrashed Iga Swiatek.
Yeah. The world #1.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
What else do we have? Of course, mathematics is very important.
Okay.
How has Afghanistan learned?
Okay, I wasn't very good at maths, but I do know how to calculate. I do know how to calculate. So Afghanistan crashed out of the Asia Cup, the cricket tournament in the match was played actually in Lahore, because they were told before the match that whatever score Sri Lanka gets, if you score it in 37.10, was you go through a net run rate. Nobody told them through the match that the equation didn't just mean what was said in black and white. They could have still got there 3 balls later and knocked Sri Lanka out. Nobody told them. Rashid Khan twiddling his thumbs at the other end, while Fazal Haq Farooqi, the last man, comes in and blocks 2 balls, he's out on the 3rd. If they had still hit a 6 on those 3 balls, Afghanistan would have been in the Super Bowl.
They would have knocked out Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very.
So it reminds me of actually the 2003 World Cup. South Africa versus, who it was? Sri Lanka only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that Mark Boucher hit a 6 and then played a dot ball. Had they scored a run, they would have been ahead of net run rate. The rain came down. Bye-bye South Africa. Yeah.
But it's just surprising with this modern technology where you have, constantly your coaches and the support staff analyzing the balls and, how someone did not communicate them that this is what you required. Bizarre. So that story...
Was it as bizarre as Louis Van Gaal?
No.
That's another debate.
Okay, on that note, see you WION World of Sport, 6:30 p.m. India. And hopefully we get more such lovely bits to chat about. Thank you from Vidur Kathuria, Nikhil Mathur and Digvijay Singh Dev.